be working on our floating pictures, our levitation pictures. So I'm going to show you how to combine your two images. So you're going to go to File, Open. These are my two. I don't know why I have all that other stuff in there. I'm going to click and shift click on both of them so they both open. So here I have myself, and then I have my background. I'm going to select myself, so I'm going to go to Select All or Command A. Make sure that you are in the Move tool, and then I'm going to move by moving it to this tab and then dragging it all the way back down, okay? You need to make sure that your mouse is in the image and then let go. And there I am. I'm going to change the opacity, which is right here, which is how much you can see through something. I'm going to change the opacity of my layer down a little bit. The reason why I'm doing that is so I can evenly match up my layers. So here, I'm looking at this camera here, and it tells me too by these brackets. Okay, it looks like everything is pretty well matched up. All right, and then I'm going to go back to my opacity. I'm going to turn it back up to 100%. Then I'm going to make myself a layer mask to work in. So make sure you're on layer 1, not on the background. And you're going to click down there where it says Add Layer Mask. Okay, so now you are going to make sure that you're in the layer mask here, not clicked over here. You want to make sure you're here. All right. When you are painting, you want to make sure you're using the black brush. So I'm going to, my paintbrush tool here. Make sure it's not in the pencil tool, color placement mixer brush. Make sure it's in the actual brush tool. And make sure your black, is the foreground color. Okay. For the bottom of the stool, so mine, I did this before, and mine looked a little funny. Oh, make sure your opacity is up to 100%. Mine looks a little funny. I think the light must have changed. So my foreground image is a little bit lighter, as you can see right through here, than my background image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself a little bit more of a feathered brush. And I'm going to go in and kind of feather that out a little bit and make it look a little bit more natural. And it's still going to erase my chair. Again, I'm painting with black. If you paint with white, you're going to paint your chair back in. You don't want to do that. And you can toggle them. See, I'm toggling right here by clicking this little back and forth arrow thing. So again, I want to paint with black. All right. Make sure you get it all. And make sure you kind of go in between too, because the colors are kind of different, so you don't want that to look funky. All right, I'm going to get close to my rump here, but not all the way because I want a harder brush for that. We're going to do a little bit of something too because my bottom end looks flat because I'm sitting on the chair. So sorry in advance that we're going to be editing on my butt here, but that's just where the chair is. So I'm going to make my brush a little bit harder. So I'm going to pick, I like kind of a brush a little bit more like this, and I can really get in on the edges here. And I'm going to go in and kind of get really in there. And if you go over, like say I go like that, oops, I cut myself off. You can toggle these, go back with the white, and repaint that back in. Okay. And then I'm going to go back to the black and finish what I was doing here. I might even get a little bit closer. Again, sorry for the butt shot here. And I'm kind of just cutting it out. It's okay if you go over a little bit. You want to make sure that the chair is out. So, and I can see my chair really well because of the yellow. Now there's these cords in the background. That's a little confusing. All right. So again, my bottom end looks pretty flat because it's on the chair. So what I want to do is I want to select the filter, and I want to go to Liquify, not F. I want to go to this one. Okay. Oops. No. Sorry. Make sure you're not in the mask when you liquify. It's going to show the chair. That's okay. So I'm going to click on that, and I want to go to, sorry, filter, liquify. Okay, so it shows my chair here. That's okay. I'm going to make my butt a little rounder. So I'm going to go to plus. I am zooming in by pressing Command plus on the keyboard. So Command plus. All right. Then I'm using my filter mode here, which is in the liquify. And I'm going to drag it. And look, it's making my butt a little bit more round. Now you have to be a little bit careful not to get too much here. But you can go back and edit that out too if you do a little bit more. I would do maybe go on the side of a little bit more rather than try to make it as smooth as possible. I'm going to drag my shirt down. My shirt ends up looking like a little bit funny here, but I don't think anybody's really going to notice. All right, I got a bump in my butt there. All right. See, that looks a little bit more natural, like I'm not sitting, like I was actually floating, and gravity would be taking my butt down more than the chair is. Do one more little tweak here. Okay, pretty happy with that, so I'm going to press OK. Okay, so now that my liquify is, oops, I don't want to do that. I didn't apply my liquify, I don't know why. Oh, here we go, because I had erased all that. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to add this back in a little bit because I liquefied this, so I made my rump a little bit rounder, and then I'm going to go back in and erase it again. If you want to liquefy, if you know something is going to be something that you're going to have to liquefy, you could even do that at the very beginning and then edit it out. That's fine. Again, I'm working in black. All right, I'm going to come up here and kind of make my shirt look a little bit more natural there. Make sure I get all this little yellow out. Okay. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to zoom back out again. You can also do Command 0, and that will fit it to your screen. All right, I like that. Then I don't love the color of this right now, so you can use any of the oh, I'm not using my words today. You can use any of the filters or the layers to adjust your color. You can use the color balance. You can use photo filter. You can use your levels a little bit. I might play with my levels. Okay. And I'm going to see if I bring this in a little bit, it makes it darker. I like it. I want it a little bit lighter. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to bring this up a little bit. There we go. So we're meeting kind of in the middle. That's a lot brighter. That's nicer. Okay. I also want to, so you come back down here. I also want to make a brightness and contrast layer just like you did with your ghost portraits. I want to make it a little bit more. I want to add some contrast back in. Maybe I'm going to take up the brightness a little bit. It's a little bit yellow to me. So I'm going to add a photo filter, and I'm going to try this cooling filter. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so I like the way that that turned out. Your picture is obviously going to be way different than mine, but play around with those. I would play with your levels first, and then your brightness and contrast. When you do the levels, you can also use the color pickers. These are the black point. So if you know where the blackest point in your picture is, you can take that and you can clip on it, and it will sort of adjust your photo for you. It has some custom settings up here where you can go darker, increase contrast, lighten shadows. You want to make the whole thing lighter. The midtone's brighter, midtone's darker, so you can play around with those. And if you don't like them, then you can just drag those down to the trash and redo them if you want. Okay, and if you need help with them, I will help you get it correct. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is I want to sharpen mine. I'm going to go to Smart Sharpen, and I'm just going to take this up a little bit. I'm going to reduce my noise by like 40%. If you do it too much, it kind of kind of pixelates it. So I don't really want to go above half here. I'm going to say okay, and it's going to apply that, and that kind of sharpens my image, gets everything a little bit more in focus. And then I want you to merge visible when you're happy with it. And then I want you to save it as a JPEG. So File, Save As, and then I would say, float pers JPEG. I'm going to save it to my float folder where the rest of my stuff is. Save. Say OK. And then when you're all finished with that, you can turn it into where this video is in Classroom. Again, you're going to open both of your pictures, select all of the one of you or the person that you took a picture of on whatever they're standing on, drag it to the background image, change the opacity a little bit so you can see where to fit it. You're going to add a layer mask to the one that you dragged in, and then you're going to paint out with black your whatever you're standing on or whatever your person is standing on. Okay? If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And when you're done, go ahead and turn them into Classroom. You need 3 different ones.